Welcome back to the Catering Circle, Season 2, Episode 4. We have so much in store for you yet again because we are in the hunt for the best business in town. But before we begin, let's go and see what happened in the last few episodes. Welcome to this week's Catering Circle. We are back and we're back with a bang.
Last two episodes we found that a lot of the success stories are all about talking about success stories. This time around we really want to hear about individual success stories that helps the industry.
Up-to-date technology to actually drive down the bottom line and make it profitable.
An EPOS system in those days and these days is much advanced.
Using modern technology, modern equipment.
Teach them to use things that are quicker for them.
More or less connected with your customers, that you know, you tell them that you are aware about them.
It's not about changing one thing 100%, it's about changing 100 things by 1%.
One chef is cooking, so people can see like what they're cooking is a right way or wrong way.
How much you can save money, that's bring more profit into your business.
It's clearly mentioned what drink you have, what food you have,
how they are marketing themselves and where they are marketing.
I like people to promote themselves, awareness, customers to know who they are.
People need to concentrate on how they can improve their businesses.
Sophisticated EPOS, but not which is out of our business.
Technology can shape up the whole business world for you.
It's tested the market, it's tested both the EPOS and doing the paper version.
If he's investing in your staff as well as investing in technology, then that can only be a good recipe for success.
Use the technology, but really harness the database.
It is that time where I actually tell you which 6 of the contestants have made it through. Tied actually to Runner Takeaway London Shafiq's restaurant with 100%. Third place is Daj Indian Cuisine. And fourth place is Rajut Restaurant. Fifth place is Sancha Camberley. And in the 6th place we have Eastern Mangal.
Backup computer system in my restaurant working side by side, and that saves a lot of time.
In Camberley, surprisingly, a lot of people use Twitter, so that works very well for us.
When a new customer does come, you know them, you give them a couple of items for freebies.
Know your customer rather than Mr. Smith walking on a Saturday. You know what Mr. Smith's doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
We have got a big, good and very massive volunteer team. So we go out together with uniform.
We like to take all our regular customer as a new customer.
Branding is very important.
Yeah.
Know your brand or know your symbol. It gives them confidence in parting with their money.
A lot of things you could do, smart things. For example, you can take a picture and give it to, post it on the Facebook and say name the dish. Those kinds of creative ideas. Normally just doing Facebook is probably not enough if everyone doing it.
Yeah.
So you probably need to do a bit more.
Let's take a look at the result. In first place we have Shafiq's Restaurant with 100%. Second place we have Runner Takeaway. Third place we have Sancha Camberley. And in fourth place we have Rajut Restaurant.
By using the right equipment, for instance, a Rationale self-cooking centre will provide you with a fresh steam generator.
How to run a restaurant without wasting it.
If you improve what you've got already, the costs come down straight away.
You're not there on a day-to-day basis to see everything, so they are the key, and also your customers.
You take their order and by the end of it, you send it, it's gone. You've got to move on to the next table.
I am a brand. I created a brand. It's one of the popular in Surrey.
Let's have a look at the results. Are you ready for this? Absolutely amazing. What a journey, and I cannot wait to see who's going to make it through to 2018 this year. And actually, every week we have 8 contestants participating and only 2 make it through to the grand final, and they'll be competing or battling for that #1 place next year in the business conference. However, to make that happen, we have our panel judges and our special guest judges. But let me introduce you to this week's panel judges. I have with me first Mr. Mahi Ferdos Jalil, who's the founder of Channel S Television, a talented businessman, a property developer, owner of Prestige Auto Group, and television presenter. Has an instrumental role in promoting Britain's Bangladeshi community through the media platform, and that was also through Channel S. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well, thank you.
It's great to have you on, and I'm sure, are you feeling the heat?
Yes, yes.
And how are you like with healthy eating?
No, I do. I lost a lot of weight. Can
Yes,
you see?
I'll give you that. You have indeed. Right next to you, I have Ms. Lisa Sohan Pao, now the co-founder and CEO and food lover behind the new multi-award-winning brand Nom Nom's World Food. And you've joined us all the way from Canada. Am I right in saying that?
That's right.
How was your travel?
Nice, thank you.
Are you happy to be here in Britain?
I love it here, yes.
Where's the accent? I need to talk to you a little bit more.
You've got the whole show to guess where the accent comes from.
Okay, fine. That works. When we speak to you a bit later on, you can tell us a little bit more. And right next to you, I have an eminent business personality from Wellington, Mr. Yawa Khan. Welcome to the show. You're also the chairman of the Federation of Bangladeshi Caterers and the chairman of Asian Curry Awards. Welcome to the show. So you must know a lot of things when it comes to healthy eating. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, I'm running the organization for last 5 years. And the Asian Curry, the 7th Asian Curry we are doing. So we are promoting the healthy food. So, and I do visit a lot of restaurants, so idea of the new innovative idea, healthy food. So I've supported that.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, this week's episode is all about healthy eating, and I can tell you one thing, I'll definitely be taking some tips from this episode. Let's go and see what the topic's all about.
Episode 4, Healthy Food Options and New Concepts, Embracing New Concepts and Menu Innovation with Healthy Foods for the ever-changing competitive consumers. With the food trends in the next 10 years, many health initiatives will come and go, but less processed and fresh food will be king. Nowadays, diners want to have some new and more healthy options. That trendy menus help attract new customers. But is that all? What makes you choose a restaurant? The food, obviously. But what about the location, seating, how far apart the tables are, service, the staff in general, the surroundings, the general ambience, and of course, the price? But what makes one better than the other? Do you follow recommendations or otherwise of food critics' reviews or food guides? What keeps us coming back to the restaurants we love? In some cases, it's exceptionally delicious food. In others, the lure isn't about the food at all. Your restaurant may have great tasting food, but if the atmosphere is bland and distasteful, it will overshadow the quality of the meal. On the flip side, a great restaurant atmosphere will make the fare taste better, keep your customers around longer, and ensure they'll return again and again. This isn't to say the food is not important. It is. The point is that we often forget how important the non-food elements of a restaurant are in making a good impression on diners. The typical restaurant customer today is not the same as the typical restaurant customer 20 years ago. They have higher expectations and pay more attention to everything.
tell you right now, that is something I definitely look for when going to a restaurant. There has to be a healthy menu, not for me, but more for my husband. However, moving away from that conversation, let me introduce you to our special judges today. I have with me, firstly, and welcome to the show, Mr. Adil Shah, who's peri-peri restaurateur and with his multi-cuisine operator from Southend, Essex, and you specialise in fresh and healthy food, which is great. I have to visit when I'm next in Southend. And right next to him I have Mr. Ruhul Shamsuddin, the executive member of Catering Circle, a successful businessman in the catering sector. Welcome to the show. Welcome back, actually. You've been on before, so welcome to the show. And right next to him I have Mr. Abdul Bangura, a personal trainer from Southend, owner of Fresco Box, an award-winning healthy meal prep service and restaurant. I may have to speak to you later on, actually. I might need some help on that. And right next to him, welcome back, I have the beautiful celebrity chef, Shahena Ali. She's been on TV and she's also a radio food expert, nutritionist, businesswoman and food and beauty writer. Welcome back. And right next to her I have Hulya Erdal. Welcome to the show. She's a chef and an educator, and she's also had many TV appearances under her apron for BBC One and Channel 4, and she is also the Master Craftsman member of the Craft Guild of Chefs. Welcome to the show today. And right next to you I have the one and only Ms. Nazia Khatun, female boxer and body transformation coach, founder at Fitness Reborn UK. Watch your live videos, absolutely love it, and I can't wait to see what you have in store for us today. And welcome back again, Mr. Attika Rahman. Now, he's a chef consultant, a multi-award winning kitchen dynamo and chef of the year for 3 consecutive years between 2007 and 2009. Wow, that's a lot of awards. Do you have enough space at home? If not, you can send them my way. I'll take them happily. And right next to you, last but not least, Mr. Said Akhtar, a restaurateur, nutritionist and campaigner for cooking foods with nutrition and natural vitamins. Welcome to the show. You fit very well for today's episode. And of course, that was our special judges and panel judges, but the show would not be possible without our participants. So let's go check out our contestant video. Hot Rock and Bhujan Bari send their apologies as they could not make it to the show today due to some unforeseen circumstances. However, we've still got 6 with us today, and I can tell you they're feeling the heat because it's going to be slightly harder because they're going to get that extra minute to just talk about their success stories. But right now, I want to know from our judges, starting with Mr. Mahi, what do you expect from the participants today?
Well, in the 21st century, is it 20th century, we used to always say, if it works, why do you change? But when it came to 21st century, we said, no, we need new changes. But up to 20 centuries, we never used to change things.
And why do you think that is? Why do you think we
With
need
all the
these
technologies,
changes?
everybody wants to live long, healthy foods, healthy options, better nutrition, less eat, calories, everything you have to check. So, and everyone got choices on their hands. You know, they got hundreds of television, hundreds of food menu, hundreds of everything on their iPad, iPhone, and everything else. So we are in a different world.
Yeah.
From the last century to this century. So everybody's concerned about their health.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Ms. Lisa, what do you expect?
Well, I'm looking at it from the consumer's point of view, and I'm also looking for innovation, like true innovation. And how do these participants differentiate themselves from the rest? We live in a very competitive market, and the trick is also, and the genius, I guess, at the same time, is if you can create a nutritionally rich meal that balances flavor and health at the same time, and that's quite tricky in Indian food.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm looking
absolutely.
for.
I'm still trying to make that happen. Shahina came on to my BBC show recently, and she was trying to tell me how that's possible. And I can tell you I've not been very successful, Shahina, I promise. Yeah, it's been really bad. Mr. Khan, what can we expect?
Well, I echo what they said about this. We are in 21st century, we are living there. The restaurant need to change. So we are looking for a healthy option, healthy menu, freshness, and we want to see our competitor, how they definition themselves to each other, and who created the most healthy food and who's serving there. And as the industry leader, we need to change our industry to our survival now. So that's what I'm looking for, to be a big change on a, and their idea, innovative ideas, how they can create something different than each other. And then we need to take the industry way forward, because my way said, if we are not successful, we need a change. Yes, we need a change, because our current industry is dying at the moment, and we are looking for a change. So I'm looking from those youngsters who's coming in there.
You say youngster, do you think the generation before that are still in the trade, do you think they can carry on, or do they need to learn? Are they open to changes? That's my question.
Open to changes. I'm an old generation, because I run a restaurant.
You don't look it.
I'm running restaurant since 1975, and same restaurant running 77. I believe we need a change. And if we are not changed,
then
our restaurant is dying. So this is a fantastic idea what the channel is doing now.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Khan, that's what it's all about. It's all about the change, and we're going to see if our 6 participants today will bring those changes, just like you said.
That's what we're looking for.
So on that note, let's begin with round 1.
Thank you.
And of course, just a quick reminder that 20% of the voting belongs to the panel judges, 20% each, and to our special judges, 5% each, which make it to 100%. And out of that, of course, our 6 contestants, from the 6, only 2 will make it through to the finals. Now, starting off with, you have, in the first round, you have exactly 120 seconds to talk about your success stories. So if I could please have, before we begin, let's begin with round 1. And if I could have Delwa Hussain from Raj of India. How are you? And welcome to the show today. And today's show is all about healthy eating, and we would love to hear from you about your healthy eating stories. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Your time starts now.
Well, when it's kind of doing a menu, good to need to plan your menu well in ahead. Especially when it comes to healthy concepts, you get to know your food well, and need to know your customers, of course, and it's customers demand based food concepts. Basically, go for healthy options such as fish, grilled food, how you do your menus, and need to work out your menus well in your head, need to work with your chef, what's the best way to do it. Grilled food is another way to move forward. Indian spices, or we call Bangladeshi spices, are good for you generally, but you need to let them know why is it good. Turmeric, all these corianders, garlic, they're all good for you. As long as you can make it to let the customers know why is it good, people are well aware of that. So come up with ideas. At the same time, you need to. Sorry.
How can you do that?
You need to have a healthy options on the menus. Secondly, you need to have marketing, your own branding, and so forth. Most of all, you need to have the right atmosphere as well. You need to do your staff training. End of the day, your staff are there with the customers. Cleanliness is very important. The decor, your consistency. How do you do your dishes? You're not just doing really nice dish on a Monday and you can't do the same on a Friday night. So you need to have the right consistency all the time to provide good quality food. And atmosphere, it goes with cutleries, your background music, and so forth. So you get to have not just providing a good food, you get to make sure you have the other bits and bobs with that, including say marketing. Social media play a bigger part. You need to know your customer database, emailing. You need to let them know what's happening. You need to know your local neighborhood. You go to your local office-based places. I mean, you go there in person to present yourself in the restaurant.
I'm going to stop you there. Thank you
Thank you
so much. Well done on that. I'm going to let the judges make some notes and call upon stage our next contestant, Mr. Sharif Islam from Feast and Mishti. I love the name, Feast and Mishti. That is definitely something I do probably every day after dinner. We need the feast, and then straight after we've got a bit of Mishti. Your 120 seconds start now, sir.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. Yes, feast and mishti. As you said, have a feast and then have a mishti, and it follows one very well. Success story would be, as with all restaurants, when we moved into the premises and we took over, I had to look at the pros and the cons. So I had to look at the menu, what was wrong with the menu, where we were actually, what area, as with many restaurants, we're in different places. So I had to look at where we were. So one of my 3 W's, which maybe if I can talk about it later on, is where. And the other W is what kind of food you're serving. Anyway, and who are the customers. So when we looked at the menu, I saw the menu was completely full and it had so many dishes. When customers come and they look at the menu, they will take at least 10 minutes. Now, people don't have the time, especially where we are in East London. People are always in a hurry. So we looked at the menu, I thought, okay, half of it's got to go. So we took half of it away and just focused on the desires and the demands of the customers, which would be in that area. Obviously, it's a Bengali area where we are, and we have to look at very traditional food, very cultural items, and then infuse the healthiness in it. So you got the menu, you will have the dishes, and then you will have to infuse the healthy ingredients. Now, when people come to your restaurant, they'll look at your restaurant, they'll look at your food, and they'll think, okay, I want to eat, right? I don't want to get fat, but I do want to get full, okay? If I spend a certain amount of money, I do want my stomach to be full and I want to walk out. And people do that. When they go, they say, you know, it's a buffet-based restaurant. They go out and they say, you know what, I can't walk anymore. And I say, well, I've done my job properly then, haven't I? So that's the healthy side of it. Now, when you look at the healthy options, you've got to look at calories. You're going to have a salad. Many people, many restaurants, they have salads. And you think, okay, that's healthy, right? But a salad is basically a lettuce with so many other things on it, right? You go for croutons, you're going to go for cheese, you're going to go for sauces.
I'm going to stop you there, Sharif.
No problem.
Thank you very, very much. I love the 3 W's. That was really, really good. If I could now call upon stage our third participant from Indian Lounge, Mr. Ruhul Hussain. Again, same thing goes for you, sir. You have 120 seconds to talk about your success stories around the healthy option and embracing new concepts. And your time starts now.
Okay, my restaurant is basically in King's Cross in the city. We get a lot of European customers comes in. So they look for actually the famous dishes, traditional Indian dishes, which is like chicken tikka masala. If we don't have in the menu chicken tikka masala, they don't think it says Indian restaurant. That's as common sense. And we have a healthier dishes like we have dover sole, we have a salmon fish in our menu, we have a guan fish curry, which is all grilled. Plus we have duck. So these are the dishes with grill. But they are healthier dish. But we have like madras as well. If you don't have madras in your menu and vindaloo in your menu, especially people coming from Europe, that if I have put all grilled dishes, they won't recognize this is at the Indian restaurant. So it depends which area you're doing business. Especially my area, which is King's Cross, we have European customers.
So how are you embracing the healthy option?
Healthy option mainly we have grilled section, okay, which is like we do healthy separate with, but we keep normal Indian dishes there. It has to be, because otherwise if you put grilled, this is a grilled restaurant. So if you have a quality Indian restaurant, you got to have our traditional Indian dishes.
Excellent. Thank you very much. You finished 40 seconds earlier. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now, next up, I have Ms. Tanya Rahman from Chit Chat Chai, one of my faves. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, really well. How are you?
I'm all right. Ready for this?
Good. Yeah,
the only
ready as I'll
flower
ever be.
between all the thorns today. Right, your time starts now, and it's the same thing. Talk about healthy options in your success story and how you embrace new concepts.
Cool. Okay,
and your time starts now.
All right. So I'm here to represent Chit Chat Chai. We're based in Wandsworth Town. Shameful plug. So check us out. So Chit Chat Chai is all about authentic Indian street food, life, and culture. And the way we embrace that is that as soon as you walk into the restaurant, you know for starters this is not your typical Indian restaurant. From the way the interior is designed, it's purposely designed to transport the customer back to a back alley in Delhi, for example. Our menu consists of 18 key charts and less focus on curry. So we encourage our customers to pick a minimum of 3 charts across the menu. And charts consist of really fresh flavours, bold flavours that are made fresh on the spot. And instead of coming away feeling overwhelmed, the diner leaves thinking, oh wow, I've had something new today which I've never had before. And it removes the misconception that Indian food is really heavy and you only have on a Friday night with a pint.
Excellent. And how do you embed the healthier options?
So charts naturally are very light in flavour, but they're heavy in terms of the ingredients that we use. But in terms of the ingredients we use, they're fresh, they're locally sourced as well. Indian food, especially street food, is actually naturally vegan friendly. So a lot of the dishes we have cater to vegans, they're gluten free, and these are the things that we highlight on our menu too.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Tanya. Now, next up, if I could please have from the School of Spice, Mr. Fahad Islam, to come on stage. And the same thing goes for you. Welcome, firstly.
Thank you very much.
Looking
Happy
very
to be here.
smart.
Thank you very much.
So, your question again, success story around healthy options.
So my success story starts with my father. So he established our restaurant more than 20 years ago. We're in an old village school that we've converted into a restaurant. We put a nice mezzanine floor in, kept it nice and airy, kept with the history of the building. We've got the original wooden structures inside, so when people come in, they're still stepping back into a bit of history. So we've tried to keep it on the vintage side of things, not go too modern because we'll ruin the authenticity of the building. Now, curry for me, I've grown up with it. My father's been in the industry, 30 plus years, and I still believe that the traditional menu still works. The only thing is, like the elements where we used to use excess oil, ghee, butter, can be eliminated and still get the nutrients out of the dish. So we've, eliminated oil and stuff and used less butter and introduced like olive oil as a substitute to butter. So you're still getting the nutrients out of the dish without the fattiness. So you've got a healthy option that way. We've used, all our ingredients are nice and fresh. We cook everything made to order, so nothing's pre-prepped. So all our patrons that come in know they're here for the evening. They order a food, they know they're going to get fresh food, something that they're going to enjoy and not feel the next day that they used to 20, 30 years ago. So we've tried to go through that option and keep it nice and clean.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you
very much.
so much. Thank you very much, Fahad. Coming up next, last but not least, from Coca Latte, Ibrar Wahid. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And
Thank
the
you.
same thing goes for you. Want to know how it is you embed the healthy option in your success story, and if you're open to new concept. Your time starts now.
Yep. So Coca Latte, we're based in Redbridge in Ilford. Where the coffee shop is, there's like 2 primary schools. No, actually 3. One primary school that we provide we do lunches for. And there's 2 secondary schools. So in that area there was loads of like chicken shops, fish and chips, and we thought, this area needs something healthy. So Coca Latte is a halal version of a coffee shop, or like a greasy calf or anything like something like that. So what we do here, so we do sandwiches, paninis, baguettes, breakfast, and to we don't use any oil. We just use a spray oil in the eggs. Everything is oven baked, like for the chips, hash browns. The chicken is steam cooked. The beef is baked in the oven. And then we do salads, smoothies. So we're trying to incorporate, like, have everything healthy inside Cocoa Latte. And I think the community in the area, they've embraced that concept. So we're doing good.
Absolutely.
Thank
you very much. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
There we have it, our 6 contestants. They've done their battle in the first round. Who's going to make it through to the second? One of the contestants will be leaving us, 20% each with the panel judges and 5% each with our special judges. Let the voting start and we'll go on a quick break. Welcome back to season 2 of the Catering Circle. This is episode 4 and it's all about the healthy options we have today within street food, restaurants or takeaways. How is it they're embedding healthy food and if they are open to using new concepts in their business. I'm going to move across to our special judges because I do actually have the results, believe it or not. But I thought, why not speak to the judges and get them to tell me what they're feeling. So right now you've seen the 6 contestants. I'll start with Adil Shah. Now tell me, who's been your favourite so far?
It's quite, there's a really good mix there. There's a lot of good quality, but I think there's a few that stood out for me, which was Chit Chat Chai. Yeah. That one was definitely one of the winners there. And School of Spice in Hounslow. I think that they're targeting the mass market. They're trying to utilise the talent they've got. They're trying to bring out the best in what they can do. So I think them two really stood out for me.
Brilliant. Ruhul Shamsuddin, how about you? Do you think they hit the nail where it should? Because talking about healthy eating options, some of them were, you know, maybe not answering the question, but what do you feel?
I mean, there's the School of Spice, the Father Success, and the keeping the original vintage, bit of tweak on the healthier option and substituting the certain ingredients. We've got Chit Chat Chai, Tania Rahman, keeping the live culture, the really desi experience and the fresh ingredients that she uses. She's making the right noises, in my opinion. Thank you.
Abdul Bangura, I've got to ask you actually, you know, being a personal trainer and hearing all these food, you know, saying they still have the oily side when it comes to Indian restaurants. I heard 2 contestants talk about that. How did you feel?
Well, it's to be expected with Indian food, to be honest. But what stood out for me was Cocoa Latte, because they basically come with the cafe feel with a healthy option, and it kind of relates to what I do as well. So I connected with that one the most personally. I thought they was all great. They've all got good value. They've all got great ideas, great concepts. But for me, Cocoa Latte stood out the most because I can relate to it. So,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shahana Ali. How about yourself? You know, you're like, when it comes to nutrition and when it comes to using the right oil, I heard somebody telling me about, you know, instead of using normal oil, let's use olive oil, the coconut oil, which you spoke about a lot.
I thought it was a masterstroke, actually. I thought it was brilliant. There were a few standouts, definitely. And I think in terms of different demographics they're appealing to, say the older market as well as the younger market, a few did appeal more so to the younger demographic, so Chit Chat Chai definitely, and also School of Spice, they're more into the clean eating sections of the customer base. And Raj of India, obviously I understand they appeal to the older demographic and they have more traditional customers, and I think they have a quite unique point of view of emphasising the USP of you know, the health qualities of benefits of the spices that are used in Indian cooking, and I think that's one of the things that really stood out for me for them, and they're trying to appeal to the older demographic as well. And again, you know, Indian Lounge as well, they are in actually the older more traditional customer base, so they were looking for traditional dishes.
Yeah.
So if they can look at grilled dishes, definitely.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I'm going to come straight to our panel judges now. I'll start with Mr. Mahi. Okay, I'll start with Ms. Lisa. Ladies first. You know, after hearing from our 6 participants, and especially about the healthy options, what do you think is really working in the curry industry right now?
I think, I mean, you could create healthier options, but it's the way you communicate it. You know, how do the customers know that there is a healthier alternative? And I think that that's lacking. Adding calories is not going to really, you know, inspire the customers to come in, but, you know, making some markers, talking about the protein perhaps, you know, there's a move towards eating more high protein diets, high fiber diets, and not just counting calories. And I think those need to be emphasized, and perhaps have a separate section on the menu so people healthier who want to make healthier choices know where to look, rather than going through a whole menu of 50 choices trying to find which one is the one that they're looking for.
Absolutely. Mahi Jalil, I'm going to come straight to you now. What do you feel, or what stood out for you the most today from the 6 participants?
First thing first, Nadia, I always disagree with people that Indian food eats unhealthy options. If you go back to the history of Nawab and Mughal, you will see how healthy this food was. You cannot value Indian food because of the Bangladeshi caterers cooking and cater for those alcoholic and drunks in 1960s and 70s. Whenever anyone says the Indian food was unhealthy options, I don't agree. I always disagreed in a big conference, because if you ever had the Nawab time of Nawabs, the food in Asian subcontinents, you know, you will remember how healthy this food was, even on 21st century. If you even go to the India, you're never going to find a chicken tikka masala in any restaurants. Those was made in 60s and 50s to when these people was drunk. They wanted to have a competition who can have the hottest food, and they have the bindaloos and everything else. But over the years, we carried a bad names, thinking that Indian food always had the bad options of only ghees. If you go to India today and go to a street, how many of the foods a ghee get used? None. No one can prove it. So first thing first, Indian food, what do we cook at home? Plenty rice and a roti. It doesn't happen in India. It doesn't happen in Bangladesh in a street food. So we have given a very bad name for the Indian food. Yes, we might do £4 billion turnover in Britain, but in reality, we Bangladeshi and a lot of other Indians, we have given this food a bad name. What stood out for me, Tanya, obviously I had the Chit Chat Chai was the excellent. 3 of them, School of Spice and Cocoa Latte, these 3, I found that because the concept is healthy food and a new concept. So whenever participants talking about it, they need to break it by 30 seconds or 1 minute, so it make life easier for us. Yeah. Another thing we must remember, this is a legacy for the British Bangladeshis and the British Indians, whatever it is. It's a legacy. Our parents started this, and we must carry on doing that. Yeah. That does not mean overnight changes may not even work in a local regular customer. Yeah. So it's have to be balanced. Yeah,
absolutely. You need to embed those slowly, right? Take it
balanced diet, balanced business model. Everything have to be balanced. You can't just go and see I was in London.
You need to do that slowly over time. I'm going to come straight through to Yawa Khan now. How about yourself, sir? What really stood out for you?
Well, I have to give a little bit of background of the why I'm coming from the curry industry. As I said, I'm working in the industry since mid-70s. And what my wife said is that we start with the chicken bindalu and madras and pal, we eat the hottest curry. And we used to serve the people who are just very drunk and come in the restaurant after 11 o'clock, and challenging the who can, they all are drunk. But this time is gone. People are stopped drinking and coming for a curry.
Yeah.
It's the early 70s and early 80s even, people coming to after drink.
Yeah.
So now is the eating habit has been changed over the years.
Yeah.
Another Bangladeshi curry industry, we are lack of the changing. We didn't change with the time. Therefore, so many bad news coming in a curry industry because, we are not serving that, Indian curry or Bangladeshi curry, it is a healthy. There is nothing with the unhealthy. But only problem is we start with the chicken pasanda, chicken tikka masala when you did too much ghee and thing. Old days it was okay. But now
it's different.
It definitely we need a change. We need a healthier option. We need to teach the customer and learn ourselves a little more.
Thank you.
Shall I give a minute to just say there? We got a 6 container there who's there that get presentation. And I agree.
Literally 1 minute, yes.
Okay. I agree with these 3, number 5, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
I think they did best presentation. And I hope that when it's coming, they get definition between healthy and curry, because we are here to...
You can mention the names. Who were your top 3?
Oh, top 3 is Charchaz, Taina Rahman.
Chit Chat Chai.
Yeah, it is well presented.
Yeah.
Farhat Islam.
Yeah.
And Ekbar Wahid.
Okay,
They did quite well. Just separated up. Other just they talk about it, but didn't separate up the healthy option and other things. So
absolutely.
I have to agree with my other 2 judges here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for very informative information. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now, it is that time. Yes, this is where we find out who's made it through to round 2. I have the results right here, and I'm about to display it. In 6th place, and we're saying goodbye to Raj of India. We're so sorry that we're having to say goodbye to you, but well done. It was a great competition, and you definitely played very, very well. That was Dilwar Hussain. Still in the competition, in 5th place, we have Feast and Mishti. 4th place, we have Indian Lounge. 3rd place, we have School of Spice. And it's a tie. It is a tie with Cocoa Latte and Chit Chat Chai. They're both at the number 1 position at the moment. Now, which 4 are going to make it through to round 1? We'll find out just in a minute, because we're about to start with round 2. So let's go check out what the topic's all about. So it is all about round 2 now, and I'm going to call on stage our first contestant, Feast and Mishti, Mr. Sharif Islam, on stage. And in this round, you're talking about everything to do with marketing and branding, and how is it that you've embedded it into your restaurant, into your business, and what can you do better, or what are you doing right now that's working really, really well. And just a quick reminder for audience that are watching, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram as well, The Catering Circle. Our panel judges hold 20% each of the results, and our special judges hold 5% each. So it's all up to you now, Mr. Islam. Take it away. Oh, by the way, before I forget, sorry, I nearly forgot, you have 60 seconds for this.
Oh, goodness me.
Your time starts now.
Right, okay. Marketing, obviously, advertisement is a big factor, and when it comes to innovation, I say innovation is creation. So, you know, something out of the box, think always out of the box. Marketing your dishes, I always tell my staff that advertise a new dish. If you don't let the customers know, the customers won't know, and if you don't recommend it, the customers will not buy it. So these 2 things, they you know, it's been embedded in them. They have to recommend the dish. They'll have to let them know and recommend it. In terms of new dishes and you know, introducing the healthy option to it, obviously you've got to look at the calories. You know, you've got to have the essential carbs and the proteins and the amino acids and so forth. But all these things, you know, putting into place, we have to eliminate the fat factor of it. So saturated oil is one of the most common enemy in food. So, you know, you replace it with polyunsaturated, monounsaturated stuff.
I'm going to stop you there. Thank you very much. I know 60 seconds isn't a lot, but I have a question for you quickly. You spoke a lot about healthy eating again, although this is about marketing and branding. One question for you. You said think outside the box. So how is it you're doing this in your business?
Right,
you have literally 30 seconds.
Okay, well, thinking outside the box is something that others are not doing. Within,
So what are you doing right now?
Okay, we have introduced new salads. Okay, new salads in the restaurant, which are, again, going back to healthy options. Now, these are something that are not really seen in the area that I am in. So, you introduce the salads, you put the actual, the proper ingredients, nutritional facts wise, like the kidney beans and maybe spinach and stuff like that. So you got the real nutrients, nutrients, and eliminate just the lettuce and the cucumber.
Brilliant.
If you like. All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. That was Mr. Sharif Islam. Well done on that. Next up from Indian Lounge, I have Mr. Ruhul Hussain. And the same question to you, sir. It's all about marketing and branding. Please keep in mind that it is about marketing and branding. And how is it that you're embedding, or what are you doing for your business with regards to marketing and branding of your restaurant? Your time starts now.
Mainly we use Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
And most important thing is word of mouth, the customers. When we certify the customer, they go and tell their office colleagues, then they book for especially our local offices. We don't do any particular advertise. It's mainly word of mouth, and we use Twitter and Instagram. And the top review is TripAdvisor.
Okay.
That's the number one. If you look at our restaurant review, we are number 3rd in London on the review section. So because of that, we get a lot of customers coming from Europe. They book in advance because of the top review. And that's how the main marketing is we introduced now.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. You're a man of very little words, but thank you very much. Straight to the point. Thank you very much for that. That was Indian Lounge. Next up, it's all about Chit Chat Chai, Tanya Rahman, and the same thing for you. What are you doing for your marketing and branding?
Okay, so for marketing and branding, being a millennial, I find it quite natural to connect with the millennial generation, which is the largest group of the demographic that is likely to eat out and spend money on food. And social media, for example, our Instagram is really hot. Like, we're a very Instagrammable restaurant. The decor, the food, the drinks, and we encourage customers to come in and use their own followers and their own base to shout about our own restaurant, essentially.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. One question for you. Great with regards to marketing. What are you doing with regards to branding?
Regards to branding, I mean, my brand isn't just about the restaurant and the food. It just connects right through to the people that we hire. So that's quite a broad question, I think. But from everything you do, to the people that you hire, to the message that you send across in your Instagram tweets, or how you connect with your followers, that all is part of your brand. So you need to be really careful that it's all unified in everything you do.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Tanya. Right to the point. Next up, if I could have from the School of Spice, Mr. Fahad Islam. Oh, slowly.
Sorry.
That's fine.
How are you doing?
Are you ready for this? Same thing for you with regards to marketing and branding.
Okay, regards to marketing, our restaurant's very well known. Most of our customer base is referral. But what the community has given us, we try to give back. So we sponsor kids' football teams. We sponsor the cricket club. We let everybody know what's going on. Like we have the studio, which is local to us. So we've had famous film stars come through the door. So, and we try to work with them to give them great deals. So we work around them as well as the patrons that walk through our door. As for marketing new dishes, I've got a lot of loyal patrons. So if I know somebody likes a certain style of dish, so if we've introduced a new style of dish that will be for their palate, I'll ask them to try it. I'll give them that confidence that, look, you won't be disappointed, I won't lead you astray. So then that gives them the confidence to try it. So when they come in another time, they'll see another dish on the menu and think, okay, that was a great dish, let me try this. So it opens up their palate, basically.
So it's like giving them like a little taster.
Yeah, little incentive to try other dishes, because most people are set in their ways. In all honesty,
yeah,
every patron I get through the door, they come in.
You there. I'm so sorry, but that was brilliant.
No
Thank
problem.
you very much. Thank you very much. And last but not least, Ibrar Wahid from Cocoa Latte, to please come on stage and also talk about how it is you're doing your marketing and branding.
So first of all, we've got an A-board outside. Just put all the specials there, just to let people walking past to know what new food is going on inside Cocoa Latte. Also, we provide like samples to customers to try them. And basically it's just asking the right questions to the customer if they like their food spicy or mild, and then we just recommend them the dishes. We also use post pictures on Facebook, Instagram, Google. So people who just Google us, they find out, you know, all the new items that have gone onto the menu.
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was from Coco Latte. I'm going to go straight to our special judges. And just a quick reminder for those watching at home that 20% each the judges will get for voting. And with our special judges, 5% each. So I'm going to come straight through to one of our special judges, Julia Erdel. Now, tell me, with regards to marketing and branding, now the 5 contestants that have come up, did they actually answer the questions to your?
I think you know the
Yeah.
answer to that. I'm afraid to say.
Obviously, I used to work in marketing and branding, and it's quite crucial to actually really get to the point quite quickly and actually talk about what it is that you're planning on doing or that you do. Unfortunately, Feast and Mishti didn't quite get the message across, and that might have been nerves because I really like the concept and I do love it. I know you did have to prompt him a little bit,
But he did get there in the end.
But you did get there in the end. You did get there in the end. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I suppose who stood out for me more so was, I guess, Chit Chat Chai. Clearly, she's young. I love that there is that youth, and like she said, she is a millennial, so therefore I feel very old now. But yeah. Oh God. No, but it was amazing because obviously she is totally hot and understands her demographic, she understands her people, understands who's coming into the restaurant, and clearly has made sure that everything from the staff, the communication the staff are giving, through the branding, the colours, everything just works beautifully with the whole concept. And obviously in saying that, I did love School of Spice and Coco Latte as well. I think that they, again, really did get the message across about what they're offering. So yeah, no, they stood out for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nazia Khatun. Now, briefly, who are in your top 2 at the moment?
Definitely Chit Chat Chai and the School of Spice, and purely because you're touching current affairs, and I absolutely loved the School of Spice because when I go and try new restaurants and everything, I will stick to my own ways, and the fact that he's going out of his way to encourage people, customers, to try those small dishes, to venture, that's amazing. And the sponsoring the school and all of that stuff was amazing. And Chit Chat again, engaging with customers. When I go into a restaurant, I feel like, oh wow, this is India, this is beautiful. And having traveled to India as well, people have a bad image of India being poor and all that kind of stuff, but it's actually the top one for people who travel around. The top one before even Mexican food. So those are my top two at the moment.
Thank you so much. I'm going to move across to Attica Rahman. What stood out for you in this round, or who stood out for you in this round?
Thank you, Nadia, and I really appreciate Channel Us. I like to speak Bengali if you don't mind.
No, please, take it away.
Well, আমরা healthy option যেটা আছিল আমরা সবে কই আমরা this is an Indian restaurant, tandoori restaurant. আর আমার সবচেয়ে যেটা আমার কাছে বাদ লাগছে আমরা সবে আইয়া মেনশন করছি গ্রিল, খালি কইছি গ্রিল ফুড বা আমরা অরিজিনালি tandoori oven is very good and very healthy way যদি আমরা জো করি দেখা গেছে গ্রিল থেকে tandoori oven is more healthier. তো এনিওয়ে আর আসলে আমরা হেলদি মানে অপশন বলতেই আমরা মনে করি সালাদ, আসলে অনেক জিনিস আছে। এনিওয়ে আমি যেটা মনে করি আমার কাছে যেটা ফেভারিট লাগছে জাস্ট এটা হলো Chit Chat Chai, যেটা Wandsworth, and School of Spice.
School of Spice.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. That was really good, what you said, Mr. Rahman, that it is absolutely true that actually when we talk about grilled food, tandoori chicken was actually grilled.
It's more healthier, believe me, it's more healthier.
It was grilled food, and that's always been on the menu. It's something, when you go to a restaurant, it's always there. It's the first thing. So that's very good. Thank you very much.
And tandoori oven is our trademark, you know what I mean?
Trademark. There you are.
Thank you.
I need one in my house. Mr. Saeed Akhtar, how about yourself? What stood out for you? Who are your top 2?
All the participants were really good. You know, they put the message.
I don't like diplomacy. You need to be honest. Who are your top two?
Well, my top two, I would say, I mean, Chit Chat Chai, very refreshing. I mean, she's young, obviously. I mean,
yeah.
The concept she's got going, I think it works.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy for her to be an Instagrammer, you know, rather than being in a traditional restaurant where people find it a lot more harder to do that. So she'll get a lot more followers, I suppose, in that sense. So, and obviously she's a little bit different, so less competition for her.
Yeah.
I found her very, very good. And my second choice is School of Spice.
Yeah.
Again, he's a young gentleman, obviously, you know, carrying on with his father's tradition, but obviously changing now. And I love the way he's promoting his business to local teams, and that really works, I think.
Thank you very, very much. Now I'm going to come straight to our judges. I've got to actually ask something. All the judges mentioned, you know, Chit Chat Chai, School of Spice, you know, young, you know, they're on the Instagram, which is great. And, you know, the restaurants are brilliant. All the participants that are here today, you know, the restaurants are great. But is age such an important thing in business, especially today in the curry industry? Lisa?
Well, age, well, you need to know your demographic, that's for sure. And then you know how to market and brand it to attract the demographic. But the millennials especially are the ones that are going to talk about it the most and shout out about it. And what I really loved about Chit Chat Chai is that wow factor.
Yeah.
You know, your first impression counts. As soon as you walk into the restaurant, if you feel the vibe, you feel that there is something different
then
here,
there's something
then
there.
there is something unique that you'd want to come back and talk about, and it's perfect.
Thank you so much.
One more, just with School of Spice, I thought at the same time, it's very personal and authentic. And authenticity is something that people do look for, especially, you know, trying to differentiate amongst all the different restaurants that are available. And that personal touch really does make people come back. So I commend you for that. That's great.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Before we go on a break, just quickly, I just want names each. Who's your favourite? I'm going to ask Mr. Mahi Jalil. Quick, just one name.
Chit Chat
Chai. And Mr. Khan, your favourite? Chit Chat Chai as well. Okay, Chit Chat Chai seems to be on top, but hey, all will be revealed in the results straight after a break. Welcome back to season 2 of the Catering Circle, episode 4, where it's all about the healthy options in your restaurant, takeaway or cafe, grill cafe, whatever's near you. It's all about the healthy options. And today we've had 6 contestants on. One's already been eliminated. We've just finished round 2 and we're about to say goodbye to another contestant. It's been a very roller coaster ride, actually. I can see I've got the results here already, and it's really good, but it's changing constantly. But now it's frozen, and we do definitely have the answers. Are you ready for it, judges? Yeah? How about you, special judges, ready for it? Okay. So, actually, more importantly, are the contestants ready for it? Oh, yes. Yes, I can hear it. Oh, yes. Right. And the results are 5th place, and we are saying goodbye to Feast and Mishti Sharif Islam. Well done, Waris Sharif Islam. So sorry we're having to say goodbye to you, but well done. Very, very good. You know, you've been a great contestant. So congratulations for coming to the, you know, second round, but we're having to say goodbye to you going forward. And the 4 contestants that have made it, a very, very big congratulations to them. We have Indian Lounge in 4th place with 75%. 3rd place we have School of Spice with 95%. And again, Cocoa Latte with 95% in 2nd place. Well, both of them in 2nd place. And in 1st place, holding strong with 100%, Chit Chat Chai. Well done. Congratulations to all of you, and congratulations to the top 4 that have made it through to the last round. And in this round, we will be saying goodbye to 2 contestants, and only 2 will make it through to the grand finals. Who's it going to be? Don't know. Well, actually, I think the judges might have their choices, but let's check out what round 3 is all about. This is all about cost saving and revenue increase. I think this is probably one of the hardest rounds actually, because sometimes, just sometimes, the contestants miss the point. So please be sure to talk about your revenue cost and your costing and revenue increase, which is very, very important. So first up, if I could have Raj of India, Dalwa Hussain come up and talk about this. And of course, those of you at home, just a quick reminder that you can get in touch with the Catering Circle via Twitter, via Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any messages, send them through and we will be sure to read them out. First up, if I could have Chit Chat Chai's Tanya Rahman. So this is all about revenue increase and cost savings. So you have 1 minute to talk about this and your time starts now.
Right, so I think following the restaurant dream is really expensive. I mean, I remortgaged my house to start Chit Chat Chai, so cost was a huge concern from day one. One of the things that I've leveraged on recently was working, instead of ploughing loads of money into marketing and PR, because that's super expensive, is leveraging off your existing customer base and really getting to know your demographic. So for example, my customers, they're the Instagram generation, they're creatives essentially, and I've partnered with quite a few creative customers that want to branch out and do their own thing. And partnering with them, for example, I had Jasmine Sarah, she's a street artist, hold an exhibition at the restaurant, which is a free space, and combining her network alongside my network also boosts exposure for Chit Chat Chai, gets people in the door, and ultimately gets people to try your food, which is what you want.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Tanya. Please take a seat. Next up, if I could have from Indian Lounge, Ruhul Hussain to come on stage and also talk about cost savings and revenue increase. And how is it you're doing this at your restaurant? You have 60 seconds.
The revenue, mainly we work out how much we are buying chicken and how much we are buying meat. That's the main work out from there. So we sit down with our chef and we work out how much we get out of one box of chicken, how many portions we get. So according to that, we put the prices up. Plus, in the city, we have a high rent, high rate, and the staff wages. So we work out as a break even for our business. So according to that, we price our menu. That's the main.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. And next up, if I could have from School of Spice, Mr. Fahad Islam back on stage. And again, you have the same thing to talk about cost savings and revenue increase. Time starts now.
Cost saving, my biggest way to cost save is I cut out the middleman. I go direct to the source. So for example, vegetables. I go straight to the market, I hand pick everything myself. That way I know my patrons are getting quality and it saves me a lot of money. I probably save near enough 50% of what somebody would charge me when they deliver me stock, and even then the stock isn't as fresh as what I expect. So my aim was to eradicate that. I went straight to the market. The other thing, to increase revenue, as long as I know I'm given a quality product, I know people will come back. Somebody would tell someone. We're on Facebook. We've got our own website.
Yeah.
We have online ordering. We don't use any third party. Everything comes to us.
Yeah.
So this is where we save money. We don't outsource anything.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you so much. You had 5 seconds left. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. And last but not least, if I could have Ibrar Wahid on from Coca Latte to talk about your cost savings and revenue increase.
Well, me and my wife, we started, this is our first business. We started over 4.5 years ago. We were all new to this. So when we started with the tub chairs, tables, serve-overs, we chose the one we wanted and we compared to all the different wholesalers and suppliers, and we found out the cheapest one. Now, we've carried on this design with the wholesalers as well to find out which supplier is cheaper, so we choose them. Also, to save the money, we in our burritos we use the right amount of portions. Chips, we use the right amount of grams, so there's no wastage. Same with our smoothies. So there's
I'm going to
less,
stop you there.
less wastage everywhere. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Well
you.
done. I'm going to actually ask you to stay on stage, Abrar, and if I could also ask the other three contestants to please come and join him on stage. And just a quick reminder for our judges that you can start voting, and whilst you vote, well actually before you vote, you have the opportunity to ask the four participants that are on stage any questions you desire or you feel that you really need to know. So I'm going to start with Mahi Jalil. Is there any questions you'd like to ask any of those participants?
School of Spice. How do you do waste management? How do you maintain that?
You have 60 seconds.
Okay,
Please come forward.
waste management.
Please come to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so we train our staffs not to obviously cut excessive amount, portion control, make sure they're measuring all the ingredients that they're using. So they're not, say, cutting a full bag of onion, for example, and only using a quarter. The rest is going to go bad. So we make sure that we've trained them how to portion control everything. From the prep work down to the dish we serve the customer, even the amount of.
Is there a system in place?
Yes. So during the day is where we go in, is where we speak to them, prep them, because in the evening we're here to run a business. So we train them during the day so they understand what they need to execute in the evening.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Lisa, any questions?
Yeah, for Chit Chat Chai.
Tanya, please come forward.
So it seems like you've got a great business model. You've got the demographic you're targeting and branding and creating that wow factor. What's next? And what's next? And also, what is the major challenge for you being young and innovating in this space?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. I think for me, the main challenge actually, I mean, my restaurant's been open for just over a year now, and it's not growing, it's growing, but also growing too quickly. Because if your core business isn't running efficiently, then when you do open multiple branches, then it's just a disaster waiting to happen. So right now I'm spending the next few months, I won't say much more, just really stabilising the ship so it can run without me. So when we do open more, we've got a good scalable model.
Very good.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Yeah, Wahan?
Well, I have just the same question about how are you managing your waste management. They say how is saving your money on investing and that one.
Sure. So with waste management, we standardise all of our recipes. So all the chefs that come in, because the turnover, as you know, in this industry is incredibly high, especially with chefs, go in and they know exactly how to make a samosa chaat, and they know how many onions to use. If they do, for any reason whatsoever, they spoil a dish, it's recorded on a waste management sheet by the head chef, and we reconcile that with the portions that on our EPOS system, for example, that are sold that day or that week.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to now move across to our special judges. Now, our special judges, who would like to ask a question? Who would like to begin? Yes? Nazia?
Yeah, so two young people over there. They stand out to me the most. Mehul Islam and Tanya, I love your passion. I love the way you have been able to deliver all the questions and what you're doing. Very quickly, what inspired you both to do what you're doing?
Brilliant question. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, go ladies first.
Okay. Yeah, what inspired me to start Chit Chat Chai? So, I mean, most people think I'm absolutely mental for quitting my job in technology and opening a restaurant, but ultimately I just have an insatiable passion to do what I want to do. Like, Chit Chat Chai was created on the basis that there was nothing out there that catered to chaat, essentially, was dedicated to that. And I wanted to create a space purely for myself and my friends to actually hang out. And that cottoned on, and it turns out that a lot of people want to go somewhere like Chit Chat Chai and hang out with their mates and eat chaat every day. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Shall I be brutally honest?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not like working in a restaurant when I was growing up. But as time went on, And the more I went to the restaurant with my father, I grew to love it, and I realised I'm a people person. So from there, it's like second nature to me now. Like even if I'm away, I'll still ring the restaurant, make sure they're doing okay, make sure my patrons are enjoying themselves, who's come in, because we got a big client base that we know. We're such a small village, everybody knows everyone. So I try to treat every patron like a friend.
Nice.
So we have more of a friendship than a client shop sort of relationship. So yeah, over the years I've really grown to love it, and yeah, my dad's worked hard, and you know it's given me that same drive basically to succeed what he's done basically. So yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Going to come straight back to the special judges. So if I could ask you to say a few words, if you don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that everybody's been really, really, really good today. But yeah, of course, we'll move on from the political correctness and just cut to the chase.
What's your question?
I think you've all done really well. But I was curious about sustainability. So obviously that is quite a big buzzword in the industry at the moment in terms of food, and really to all of you, to be honest, because obviously it does impact on cost as well and revenue. But how do you all factor in sustainability into your product, into your business, and what do you do about that in terms of sourcing goods and everything else? Yeah.
We know that we have a certain target to meet financially to stay afloat. Anything above that, we know we're doing well. So, touch wood, we meet those targets every week, every month, and because we're always making sure that our customers getting the best that we can provide. If something is not the best we can provide, we will not serve it, because we know that has a chain reaction effect. We're in a small village. If you have one bad meal, you're going to tell 10 people. You have one good meal, you maybe tell 1 or 2 people. So we make sure we always make everything's fresh, quality, and hit those targets every week.
Thank you so much. We've heard a lot from School of Spice and from Chit Chat Chai. I'm going to come to Adil straight away. Adil, are there any questions? You've been very quiet as well. So are there any questions you'd like to ask Cocoa Latte and Indian Lounge?
Yeah, I was actually thinking of a question for Cocoa Latte. Your business is slightly different to School of Spice and Indian Lounge London, because they come from a traditional, authentic sort of, Asian curry house.
Yes.
Your business is more catered towards sort of breakfast, lunch.
Lunches, yes.
How do you combat the dinner time trade? Because that is where relatively the other contestants make most of their revenue at the dinner time. So how do you cater with that? Because obviously at that time I'm assuming you would quiet down quite a bit.
We close at 5.
Right, okay.
So we don't cater for the dinner, but we're extremely busy in the breakfast. We do deliveries, breakfast, anything that's on the menu, burritos, smoothies, all our food, and so we're really busy in the breakfast and at the lunchtime. So we don't really need to open at that time.
And do you find that the breakfast and the lunch throughout the day is enough for you to sort of cover your costs and make a profit?
Yes. I've started doing catering now for parties, meetings, events. We're also hiring the venue for parties as well. So we're trying to find different ways of making more money.
Excellent. Okay,
Thank
that's
you
great.
very much. I'm going to move straight across to Ruh Shamsuddin, and I'm going to ask you, what would you like to ask Indian Lounge?
Hello, Mr. Hassan. You're right. Okay. I'd like to ask.
By the way,
Okay. The break even. How do you mentioned earlier on about your menu pricing, the business rates, and so on, and especially you got the price soaring and everything else of the produce. How do you go on about that?
Break-even, we work out like how much we are paying the rent, especially in the city, is high rent, and the wages. We work out like weekly how much will be the break-even. So then we work out how much we are buying the supplier, like meat, chicken. So we just sit down with our chef and we work out the prices will be each dish will cost, how much we are buying and how much we are selling. That's the way you work out the menu.
That's great. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. Are there any questions from the special judges? Yeah, what would you like to ask, Abdul?
I'd like to ask, because we've all been here, we're all in business. If anyone says it runs smoothly, it's a lie. What's the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome, and how have you overcome it? And that's for anyone.
Where I'm based is quite a residential area, and there's not that much footfall in that place. And there's more footfall in the high streets, in the shopping centres, and if you probably come to our shop, you'll probably see more cars driving past than people. And I think basically once people come into our shop, and by spreading word of mouth that look, this is fresh, it's healthy, and the place is clean. There's wheelchair access, there's mother and baby changing facilities, there's high chairs, there's free Wi-Fi. So we're attracting people in that way. But I think the first year was quite difficult trying to get those people engaged. But I think as people started to learn about Cocoa Latte and tried our food, they've kept on coming back in. So thank God we're still here after 4 years. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much. Are there any more questions from the special judges? We've got one right at the end. We can come back to you, Shahana, or you can ask first. It's up to you. So we've got Saeed who wants to ask a question. Please go ahead.
Question to Indian Lounge, Ruhul Hussain. You're obviously the other contestants, you're slightly more traditional. I just want to know one thing that you do to stay ahead of your competition.
Because the thing is, we are based in the city, so mainly our customer comes from Europe. Our customer, we don't much get local customers. Mainly 90% is European customers. So when they come to Indian restaurant or any Indian restaurant in London, they think of like chicken tikka masala or spicy food or badras. This is the thing they come before they come to restaurant. They work out in the mind, and tandoori dishes as well. So we keep the healthy dish for the local. When they come, European people, they don't never ask for grilled dishes because they come to Indian restaurant, they think it's a spicy dish.
Yeah,
so
spice.
that's what.
Spice capital of
yeah.
Europe, I think. London.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Last question from the panel judges. I know Shahana was waiting, but you can make yours quickly if you want, Atikul.
Okay, আমি ইন্ডিয়ান লাউঞ্জে জিজ্ঞাসা সারাম যেহেতু আপনারা সিটির মধ্যে রেস্টুরেন্ট আর আপনারা কাস্টমার হইলে মোস্টলি ফরেনার হল তো আপনারা কিতা মানে আপনার কোয়ালিটি কিতা মানে যেসামন্তে দিলাই না কোয়ালিটি মেইনটেইন করেন
কোয়ালিটি আমরা হাই স্ট্যান্ডার্ড মেইনটেইন করি কারণ আমরা নেক্সট ডোর রেস্টুরেন্ট আছে ইন্ডিয়ান রেস্টুরেন্ট আছে তারা আপনার স্পেশাল ডিল আছে তারা বেশি আমরা কোনো স্পেশাল ডিল রাখি না কারণ আমরা quality maintain করার লাগে আমরা কোনো স্পেশাল ডিল রাখি না
Thank you.
Thank you. And Shahana, last question from special judges.
This is a question for anyone, and basically there's a trendy new concept called growth hacking.
Who would you like to ask the question to?
Let's say Spice Lounge. Basically where you make 1% change in say 10 different things in a different area of the restaurant, say customer, marketing, or in performance of the staff. Have you found that's something that you've used, or is it just an overall change you've done in that department?
I think that was the School of Spice you meant, yes.
Change, yeah. Obviously, like evolution, you have to always refresh things. So, yeah, we try to smarten up our guys, give them different colour tie maybe, different colour waistcoat. We decorate the restaurant every year. So when people come in, it still looks nice and fresh. It doesn't look tired. When the furniture needs redoing, we redo the furniture, change all the lighting, fixtures. We constantly put money back into the restaurant because if something looks tired, they're going to think the back of the house is the same as the front. So we want to make sure our standards are high. So we try to make sure just as nice the front looks, the kitchen's exactly the same. Equipment's changed on a regular basis. It's always serviced. We have, obviously, you've got to do your safety checks. So we make sure everything is done in accordance.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you. I'm going to go back to our judges. Lisa, I know you have a question.
Yeah,
who
just
would you like to ask
back to healthy eating options and new concepts. 10-second answers from all of you. From a personal experience in your business, is creating a healthy food option more expensive, and do you charge a premium for it? Who wants to start?
So absolutely not. It's not expensive at all to create healthy food, especially with Indian food, because it is naturally healthy, really. Chaat especially. I keep banging on about chaat, but that's what it's sort of about. But it's all fresh ingredients, fresh onions, fresh vegetables, and we don't charge a premium at all. I mean, our average price per head is £15 to £20. So.
Thank you very much. And oh, sorry.
Yes.
Everyone,
Yeah.
Was it for everyone? Yeah. That's fine.
We don't charge anything extra for healthy eating. We want to prove to our community that Indian food is completely healthy. They don't have to worry about it the next day or anything like that. So yeah, we just make sure all our dishes look healthy, basically. Thank you.
We don't charge extra.
Is it more expensive?
It's compared to other coffee shops. I think we are quite competitive, and it's. I think per head, the average customer that spends is probably about £5 to £6 per head in our
So
in
I'm
our shop.
talking about the cost.
The
so
cost
is
of
it more costly to produce the healthy option, like your baking, the time that it takes to do certain things compared to your competitors? Is it more costly for you to then be more competitive?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay,
I don't believe so.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
I don't think so it's costly, but our tandoori dish is obviously we grill.
Okay. Thank you very much. We literally only have 5 minutes, so I'm going to ask the other two judges, because I know you guys had a question as well. So
No,
you
you can
like to
answer.
go first?
No, I'm not
So
going
if
to
you
go.
ask what
Right,
question
mine
would
is
you
two
like
simple
first?
questions. How do you manage your cash flow? It's great to have a big visions, but you have emissions to deliver. And how you do adapted with the technology? Like, do all of you have ecosystem? I just want to know. Just share it in 15 seconds each. How do you manage the cash flow? Majority business in 2014, 15, 16 failed in Britain. Was all about cash flow, not the good product, not the branding, not this. None of them manage their cash flow right. How do you manage your cash flow?
You literally have 15 seconds, because I will stop you.
Okay. All right. So your EPOS system needs to be your best friend. If you don't understand it, whoever your provider is, get some training with them, because they're your lifeline. You can input everything on there, your revenue, your food costs. It'll work out the percentage for you, and it's up to you as the owner to run reports regularly to see what dishes work and what don't work. The ones that don't work, just change them, take them off, put something on that is a bit more
Brilliant.
cost effective.
Thank you so much. You've really got to be quick, sorry, because my producers are telling me I literally have no time. So you're going to have to make it really quick.
With our cash flow, these days, majority of people pay by card. So there's not really any hard cash.
Yeah.
So we keep a constant, every day we check in how much is going into our account. We have a set figure that we need to go out every week. So we make sure we hit that figure. So that's gone out. Whatever's extra is
Brilliant.
for a profit. Basically.
Thank you very much. Last two. Sorry.
Basically, my mother-in-law, she does the accounts, so she
Yes.
handles that. So basically, I think we know what sells, and I don't have the fancy EPOS system. I've still got the old-fashioned one,
And it's working for you.
Yeah, and it's working. I've had it for like 4 years since I've opened.
Old is gold, isn't it?
That's it.
Old is gold.
Not that I'm saying your mother-in-law's old, but that works. If I could ask you quickly.
Same like me. I don't have an ecosystem, but we do manually. And as a customers, we have 90% credit card. So we do manually sit down every night at the business. We work out how much your sales are.
Thank you so much. Mr. Yawahan, I will come to you because we've already got the results. So I'll come to you in a bit to find out how you're feeling today with the results and, of course, your votings. So, are you ready for this? 2 will be eliminated today, and only 2 will make it through to the grand finals for the business conference that's going to be taking place in 2018 to battle to be the restaurant or the business of the year, I guess, and win that title next year. And the results today are... We are saying goodbye to Indian Lounge and Cocoa Latte. Congratulations and well done for coming this far. well done and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And going through to the business conference in 2018, woo, we have in second place Chit Chat Chai with 70%, and in first place School of Spice with 80%. Congratulations, congratulations. Well done, Tanya, and well done, Fahad. If I could ask you to just say how you're feeling, so I'll start with Tanya.
Incredibly flattered. I had no idea that this was going to happen, so I'm really excited for next year's business battle. Yeah.
Brilliant. You have enough time to get ready for that. Fahad, well done.
I'd like to thank all the judges. I'll be honest with you, I thought Tanya was going to win.
She did win. She did win.
No, you know, come first. So I'm surprised.
The battle started already.
So I'm surprised, but thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate it.
Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm going to come straight to Yaba Khan. You know, thank you so much. You've been a great judge on today's show. What would you like to say?
Well, just to congratulate everyone. I think that everybody is well presented, but only can make it 2 winners. And I think what's there are 2 great winners there.
Brilliant.
And I'm looking forward to meet them next year and see if they can do any better.
And Lisa.
Yeah, congratulations. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Did really well. I think what differentiates the winners from not the losers, but you know, the winners is the passion. I mean, you clearly demonstrated passion in every single response. So well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm going to come straight through to Mahi Jalil. What would you like to say?
Congratulations on a great show, I would say, you know, but it was fantastic. It's a service industry where if one customer get upset, he's 100% dissatisfied. So we've got to always look into that. Cash flow we have to always manage. We have to do our own accountability.
Yeah.
If you don't do accountability, we're never going to be successful in business. Transparency, one word. And a vision and mission, 5 different things in 5 fingers, we're all successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I love your metaphors, your own metaphors. That's it, I guess. This was all about episode 4. Congratulations once again. You guys, honestly, everyone was brilliant on the show today. And today was all about healthy eating. And I can tell you one thing, I'm definitely going to try these. However, next episode will be on the 1st of August. And it's all about food safety and health and safety issues. So please do feel free to join us. And don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, The Catering Circle. But right now it is time for me, Nadia Ali, to say goodbye. However, before we say goodbye, here's the schedule for you.